Hello, Ian from Lean Media here. Today I'm going to be talking about Amazon Advantage and purchase orders that seem a little bit too big. And what I'm going to be doing today is basically showing you how I determine whether Amazon Advantage purchase orders are right sized or the wrong sized. And here's what we have here. This is a new purchase order. You can see I have about maybe 10 different ISBNs that are being ordered. Here's the quantity requested. So, 100, for instance, 117 of this particular product that we sell. And my question is this really a good number to send in? And the reason why I'm even asking the question is I've been burned so many times before by Amazon Advantage asking me to send in hundreds or thousands of units, and then they just sit there in a warehouse for a long time. Sometimes Amazon begins to send them back. It's a huge waste of time and money. My inventory is tied up in Amazon Advantage and it's not moving, and I'm blaming Amazon Advantage's poor predictive algorithms. So what I'm going to be doing here is actually taking a look at the data that Amazon gives me and determining, does this make sense that they're asking for, let's say, 117 of this one, or 11 of this one, or 152 of this one. This is going to take a little bit of time to go through, and I'm going to be kind of glossing over a couple steps, kind of the messy bits of downloading data files and uploading them into a spreadsheet program. But it will give you a better handle on just the elements that I use to determine how many units I should send in to Amazon Advantage. So let's get going on this. One thing that you should do, in addition to downloading your purchase order and seeing what they're asking for, is go to Retail Analytics in Amazon Advantage. And to get there, you go to Reports, Retail Analytics. You'll come to this a page like this. Select Sales to see how many you've sold in the past week or month or whatever. You can see I'm doing week right here, as well as Inventory, which shows how many units are available on hand. So you can see right now I have about 1,000 units available on hand, and it breaks it out by each one of the ISBNs. So what I basically do is I download the inventory, current inventory, and that's what this number reflects, and then I download the sales. And you can see the sales. This is weekly sales. So I have these numbers. Unfortunately, these two charts don't match up. I have no idea why they just don't simply combine the data on the same chart, so I don't have to be looking back and forth at them. But basically what I then do is I create a Google Sheets spreadsheet. You can also use Excel, but I like working with Google Sheets more. I take the data, the shipped units data, and I take the current inventory. I just basically grab that from Amazon Advantage. I make sure everything is lined up correctly, and then what I do for the shipped units, this is for the past week, I create a monthly rate, very simple, just multiply this by 4 and I get these numbers. And then I use this number, 3.5. Basically what this number means is 3.5 months of supply. That's the maximum number I ever want to have in Amazon Advantage for any one of the ISBNs that I have. And this is from lots of experience, because in the past sometimes Amazon Advantage has asked for something like 6 months or even a year's worth of inventory, and the reason is, and this was actually I have to say this was the last time I was burned by it. This was a couple of years ago. They were just basically making very bad predictions about how many units were needed. So they have their own algorithm working in the background that says, for this particular spreadsheet, you should be sending in 1,000 units. And I would do it loyally, assuming they knew what they were talking about. And I was burned many times by this. I'm never going to be doing that again. So basically what I do is I spend maybe 30 minutes creating the spreadsheet, analyzing the data, and coming up with a number that says this is what the maximum inventory should be. This is the current inventory. So for Excel, for this particular product here, they only have 106 units. They're actually selling 168 units per month. So this is something where I definitely want to be sending in more inventory. The difference is 482. That's the maximum amount that I should send in. Currently, it looks like they're asking for, let's see here. This would be, they're asking for 150 units. So I'm going to give them 150 units. And then going down here, basically what I've done is I've done conditional formatting. So if the number's above 200, it gets dark red. If the number's above 100, it's kind of a light red. And if it's below that, I don't shade it at all. This number is interesting here. So this is for actually one of the products where Amazon told me to send in hundreds of units, and I did, and they just didn't sell. So then they started sending them back to me, charging me for it, and eventually I just told them just destroy it because the cost was. I was so pissed off about that. But in any case, right now they've only shipped 2 units in the past week, so 8 units per month. The maximum inventory should be 28 units. That's 3.5 months of inventory, and the current inventory is 41. So you can see that there's actually I'm still overstocked in Amazon Advantage for that particular one, so I'm not going to be sending in any inventory for them, and they're actually not asking for any. This is another interesting one. They're actually in the purchase order. They're actually asking for 11 units. Note that they've only shipped 1 unit in the past week, so it's reasonable to expect that they might ship 4 units a month. The maximum inventory, based on my 3.5 number, 3.5 months supply, is 14 units. Current inventory is 16, so they're a little bit overstocked. You can see that, and yet they're still asking for 11. So I don't know where they're getting that particular, why their algorithm chose that particular number, but I'm probably not going to send in any units for that one because they're just going to sit there. They're not selling at all. Why would I send in any more? So this is how I go through it. It's labor intensive. I'm sure that there's probably somebody watching this is going to say, oh yeah, you should do this in Google Sheets or Excel to get a better idea. Okay, that's fine. I just don't have enough time to figure it out. I just want my own quick and dirty algorithm to determine how many units I should be sending in when Amazon gives me, a very big purchase order like this one, and they're asking for 100 units of this and 180 units of that. I'm asking, is that really the right number? And after I have my little spreadsheet in front of me and compare it to the purchase order, I can determine whether or not I should be sending units in. And by the way, Amazon won't penalize you if you don't have the inventory available, and they shouldn't penalize you if you were if you just decide on your own. It just doesn't make sense to send in that inventory. This is Ian Lamont from Lean Media. I hope this kind of somewhat convoluted and confusing video is helpful in a way. I know it's tough to understand the ins and outs of Amazon Advantage, but this is how I deal with it, and this is how I avoid getting burned. If you like the video, that would be great. Also, if you go to leanmedia.org, click on blog or video, and you'll see many more of my content talking about media, publishing, online sales, etc. Thanks so much for watching.